I'm Ryan Milliken from Hardway Performance, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
I'm Dimitri Miller with No Zone Diesel.
This is Anthony Range from XDP.
This is Jaron Holder from Holderdown Performance.
Corey Willis from PPEI.
I'm Drew with D&J Precision Machine.
I'm Pinky.
And you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
Diesel Podcast.
You're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
The Diesel Podcast. The one and only Diesel Podcast.
What is going on, Diesel Nation? We've got another exciting Diesel Podcast episode for you. One you won't get bored with and fall asleep listening to. Today's podcast, we're talking about a ton of cool things. We got truck talk, turbos, even bacon recipes. Before we get to that, though, we want to tell you guys about a really cool giveaway that Snyder Performance Engineering is doing. All you got to do is go to their website. It's spediesel.com and go to giveaway. They've got a ton of Adams polishes, which is it does amazing things with paint, making your truck look good. Just go over there, enter, and they're going to be announcing a winner here pretty soon. So just head on over again. It's spediesel.com and then giveaway. And also, we want to thank PPEI. They're making this episode possible. Those guys got the tuning dialed in on Duramax, Cummins, Power Strokes, EFI Live, EasyLink. Ton of cool options, custom tuning. So if you got a compound setup, triple turbos, built transmission, stock transmission, they've got it. Just call 888-556-0743. But now we're going to get to the podcast. We got Jimmy McIntosh on, the big fan of the podcast, been around the diesel scene a while, and we're gonna chat with him and have a great time. Welcome, Jimmy, to the Diesel Podcast. Long time no talks. Glad to have you on today.
Thanks. I'm proud to be on it with you.
For the podcast, we were talking about some different recipes, how you can use bacon. So while we're chatting right now, I'm looking online on all the different things I could put bacon on, and I'm getting kind of hungry, man.
Yeah, I had a refined Kentucky Fat Man's meal with bacon wrapped asparagus tonight.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, it was pinky up all the way.
I remember years ago, like, somebody's like, hey, have you ever had bacon on top of a donut? I was like, nah, I don't know if I'd try that. Then I had one, and that's absolutely my favorite flavor style of donut.
Is it what is it, Voodoo out there? Voodoo Donuts or something like that? What's the donut place out there?
Yeah, I think it is Voodoo Donuts. I've had them. They're really good. They do a lot of different flavors.
Had Coca-Cola chocolate cake with bacon-infused icing once. That was to die for.
I bet there's recipes out there to do it. I'd probably have to find the recipes and I can't bake at all, but maybe have someone make something for me and sprinkle some stuff on top.
Oh, I'm no baker, but I can eat with the best of them.
Oh, so can I. Food's my weakness. Man, I've seen your truck before. I've seen pictures of it, and my favorite year range of Cummins is the 06-07, and especially the mega cabs. I wish I was a little bit older at that time, or in a position to buy one just at that time. But it's so hard to find a clean common rail that the history on. It didn't have triple turbos on it and crazy stuff and get raced every week.
Yeah, I got blessed with my truck. I know the lineage of it. The two previous owners are within the next county of me, and I trust the second guy off for him saying he bought it. It's still all stock componentry with the engine, just light bolt-on stuff. It's S&B intake and horn, a dual disc, and a programmer, 5-inch exhaust. Everything else is untouched, and I'm elated to have it.
I've looked, before, when I was in the market for one, and it's so hard to find one. We know the history of it. Two, it's a good platform that if you want to do stuff to it, you can. Or, kind of the opposite thing you see is the thing was used in the oil fields or as a construction truck, and it was used how they're intended to be used, but Because finding those clean ones is tough.
Yeah, it is for sure. I never before I got my truck, I had a 98 12 valve that I had forever, and when I had kids, I needed something bigger, and I didn't want a club cab 3rd gen because the 2nd gen has almost as much room, and I didn't really like the mega cabs because of the fenders. And when I bought my truck, I fell in love with it because you can lean over the bed and get stuff out of it, not like a regular dolly.
Yeah.
Best invention ever.
There's so much room in the back of them. I have a couple friends with them, and we go camping or fishing or shooting or something, and I'm a taller guy. I'd fit back there just fine. Like it's comfortable.
Oh yeah, the back doors opening up to 90 degrees was a absolutely genius design too.
I think that's my favorite style. My favorite style would definitely be the mega cab, and definitely mainly because of the motor. It was just that a Common Rail 5.9 is just so. It's before all the emission stuff, before the DPFs, the EGRs, all the crazy electronics with them. They're just simple.
Yeah, and the other great thing is having friends in the diesel industry. If you ever want to upgrade, you can get cheap parts. Everything's so much more affordable for the 5.9 as compared to the 6.7, where they're still fairly new. I mean, they've been out for a while, but there's so much more available, so much more known.
Well, it's just that sound too, like that 5.9 sound. You get like a new truck, it could be any brand, but just off the lot, it's a diesel, but they don't sound the same. They're quieted down. They're more refined with the sound barrier. Just the different materials they use keep the sound down and road noise and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you there too.
So if you're going to do anything to your truck, like just say it's just going to be something you have fun with, what would you do to it?
Really like what John Gilbert and them are doing. Their turbos are really top notch. I'd like to get one of those and maybe just a small set of sticks. Nothing major, because I want it to last me forever. And I also know if you get into that cycle of upgrading, then the next thing you do is upgrade your upgrades, and then it never stops.
I always like to ask people, what's your favorite modification? And it gets a little tricky. It kind of depends on your goals for the truck. Now, say if I wasn't going to build the truck, with aftermarket turbo injectors, all that kind of stuff, it would have to be tuning. Tuning, the amount of power you can take a stock truck, where it's at now, add the power, it's totally the best bang for the buck. PPEI, we've run their tuning. A lot of our customers have run their tuning. You're able to take, a truck and add 150, 200 horsepower, or even more if you've got aftermarket injectors and turbo and things like that. Those guys spend a ton of time making sure those tunes are safe, that they're efficient, that the power delivery is smooth, and that you're happy with the product. So they stand behind it even after you've loaded it onto the truck. And if you have questions or you do future upgrades, they're there. If you're interested in custom tuning, just call 888-556-0743. They've got Cummins, Duramax, and Power Stroke all lined out. Now, if I was going to build the truck to do something a little different, maybe be a street truck or race it, my favorite modification would have to be a turbo. The sound of it, the way the power comes on, it's really cool. Now, compounds, they do everything really well. I've always liked the bigger singles. The bigger singles I like that a little bit of lag, and then bam, it just hits, and you got the sound, and it's fun. It's definitely a really fun setup.
Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are doing it with singles.
It keeps that engine bay kind of freed up too. You just see that big turbo right there.
Absolutely. Easier to work on. So simplistic with just one turbo, and there's, like you said, there's so many guys out there doing it with just one turbo. And first the compounds came on the scene, and they really took it over, and then guys started going triple, and they started kind of overrunning the guys with compounds. And now everybody said, I can buy one turbo and keep up with these guys.
Yeah, and it's so crazy too, with the power level that trucks are at. and how quickly, we all remember when a 900 or 1,000 horsepower truck was insane, and now in the performance world, it's just like, it's another 900 horse truck, it's another 1,000 horse truck. Oh, it only makes 1,200 horsepower. It's just the level has been pushed so far so quick. It's a really exciting kind of time, in the performance and in the racing side.
Definitely is. It makes you wonder where it can go. I think it's I don't know what was. People started breaking 1,000, in street trucks and stuff. So the pullers, they've had crazy horsepower forever. But the street scene, 1,000 horsepower was 9 years, 10 years, give or take, ago.
Yeah.
Now you got guys with Levon and Baca making 2,500 horsepower, and the motor's staying together.
That's the thing. Yeah, they are.
There was guys doing the glory pulls back when they were shooting for 2,000 horsepower, and they were splitting the block every other time they got on the dyno. And I mean, these guys are running the dyno and then racing the same truck with the same motor, and going the whole season on it. It's just nuts.
I think the motor side they've got dialed in. I just wonder how long the transmissions can handle it, because they're not. I mean, there's great builders out there, great products, but I wonder if that's going to hold them back. I know. I'm not sure how far it's come, or if it can even keep up with the power the motors are making, or if I don't know.
Levon and them being primarily a transmission shop, I think that really keeps them on the cutting edge, and I know it kind of hurt him with all the trouble he had out at UCC, but I think in that high horsepower world, the ideas that Baca used with the hybrid transmission and air shift and stuff, if the horsepower keeps climbing, I mean, he took a page right out of the high horsepower drag racer book, but those guys weigh like a third of the weight of him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a learning experience, but I think things are going to change. It's not going to be a gold nugget or anything that's being built right now. If they get much more horsepower, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
That's what's really cool, though, is like, those 9 or 10 years ago, a lot of the technology, and whether it's like with the engines or turbos or injectors or tuning or any of that stuff, is, I think all those components kind of work together. You throw some billet parts at something, or you just go a little bit bigger on the turbo, or you just throw a ton of fuel at it. But what those guys do on the track or sled pulling has totally allowed the guy who was building a street truck to have the best product available that's not going to break, because it's been run on something at 2,500 horsepower.
That's undoubtedly correct. The trickle-down effect is great for the little guy.
I think that's really what these competitions do, like the UCC and Diesel Power Challenge and all those different things. Just, they showcase no matter the type of truck it is, whether it's Power Stroke, Duramax, Cummins, whatever it might be, as they push the envelope so far, they can go back and, these guys build parts, make parts, and they say, no, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to come up with this product. This is what I found, happened at this race, and you can buy it online or call them up or walk in the shop and you can get it, pretty quick, or when they release it. But it just helps the truck enthusiasts.
It definitely does. Plus, the wild side of it is great to get to witness too, like Wagler's motor and DNR's motor, the Common Rail 12 valve. I mean, those things are just crazy. It makes you wonder if it hadn't been for the UCC, would anybody go that crazy with a motor just right out of the gate?
I don't know. I like to think it would happen, but I don't think as quick with as many people involved. Might have been a couple people that did it, but it forces everyone from coast to coast, no matter what type of truck it is, to figure something out. And even the inter-brand competition, the Duramax guys, they're not going to sit back and take it. They're going to push the envelope, and the Power Stroke guys, they're just not going to sit back and say, okay, those guys can have it. they're doing tons of things with those motors.
Yeah, Rudy's, after UCC, Rudy's Pro Mod was, he's holds the record for Ford now for time down the track, I believe.
Yeah, they're doing some crazy things.
I think a lot of their R&D stuff come from their push for UCC, even though, the four-wheel drive truck is what they run out there, but you learn something somewhere, so it goes everywhere.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next year and what kind of trucks, these guys bring, and how the setups may change, and see what kind of fun.
Everybody's going to have to lose a whole bunch of weight if they want to catch LeVon, that's for sure.
And with like events, there's not as many out this way as there are, farther, back east. They're just, I don't know. I want to make a trip, probably take like three months, not off, but do like a road trip, and just hit up all the sled pulls and drag racing and stop at all the different shops. And there's just so much diesel east of the Mississippi. So if you're a diesel enthusiast and you're not there, you got to go there and you got to make like a road trip, plan a week or two, and just go and see it.
It's a good time of year over here. I think now with I can't think of what Diesel Thunder. I think Michael Cassidy's show down in Florida, that started off the year, and there's been some sort of event every few weeks to a month ever since then, non-stop, and that'll continue all the way through the fall.
One of the things I enjoy the most about them is it just has like a family atmosphere to it that other things may not. I've been to Scheid and to different ones, and you see families there, and you see the enthusiasm, and it's just something that's really cool versus saying going to a football game or baseball game and you go with your buddies or something, and the family's not there. And I've always been kind of drawn to that aspect of diesel events or racing events, in general.
Seeing everybody take their hat off and stand up at the national anthem is the best part of it.
Oh yeah. They're very patriotic. I don't know. It's just it's a totally different kind of event that you go to. You're proud to be there. You're gonna have fun. You see really cool trucks doing things on the track, or if they're sled pulling. Meet people, meet the teams, meet the guys that are racing. They're accessible. They're there. They want to talk, and you get to meet them.
Yeah, they're all very, very warm people. It's I love motorsports in general, but it does seem like on the gas side of things that you have more celebrities, and on the diesel side they're just people, and they don't care to talk to you.
The diesel side's gonna get there, though.
I'm sure it will, no doubt. I'm glad we're living in the time we are.
Like the Street Outlaw stuff, I've watched that all the time, and I mean those guys do some crazy stuff, and it's just how fast they go and the personalities and everything. But that side of motorsports has been around a lot longer, and it's had time to mature.
When the second Model T rolled out of the plant was the first drag race, I'd say.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, that's just how it is. And then you look at the diesels. It's what, 25 years or so. I mean, diesels started getting mainstream 30 years ago, but the whole aftermarket thing and really racing and everything, that didn't really start to grow big till about 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it's progressed a long ways, and I'm sure you're right. The celebrity status is well on its way.
Well, I think the diesel community needs it. I think I think what binds everyone together, whether you drive a diesel truck, you race it, you're in magazines or whatever, is you love diesel. You love the motor. You love how it performs, and you want other people to know about it. You want more people to buy them, more people to be involved in it and be excited about it. And it's just going to continue to grow with the great minds that are, in this industry, the great companies. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's like the other motorsports.
Yeah, I'd agree there. It's the same as just since I've been around it. It's grown exponentially, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
I don't either. I know that like with the events and stuff, you know way more about them than I do because you've worked on them. Like you're setting one up right now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing one on September 16th in London, Kentucky. I affectionately enough decided, because of the way the community and everything is, to call it Family Ties.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, me and Nick Campbell and Donovan Jones are doing it together, and I just tossed around ideas, and Family Ties Diesel Dysfunction's the name that we settled on. I'm hoping to have a pretty good show.
Are you going to have like drag racing? Is it going to be mainly drag racing, or are you going to have some sled pulling and show and shine and stuff like that?
We'll have a show and shine. I originally tried to get a dyno, and I only had about 3 months to work on it. So when I got started, basically most people's sponsorship money was used for the year. Most people were already had their schedule set up. So after a ton of logistical nightmares, we weren't able to get a dyno or a sled for this year, but we are having a show and shine, and we're doing 4 classes of racing, one of them being a Outlaw, Run What You Brung, and then a 670, a 770, and an ET class.
With the classes you got set up, there's going to be some good races.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. We hope that, with the way we laid them out, that it'll have something for everybody, from the fastest guys to a guy that drives his truck every day and just brings it down there to race it.
That's where it all starts. It all starts with just going down there one time, like, yeah, I'll run it. And that one time you run it, that's when you get hooked.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I got a stick shift truck. I'm not going to run it.
I've seen some of those guys race, and they can roast some gears.
Yeah, we actually thought about it. It didn't get much of a following. If some guys show up, we might still do it in the testing tune on Friday night. Have a little manual shift shootout.
Now, that would be fun to watch. I can't row anything. That's why I like automatics, but
not me either. I'm right there with you.
I can drive one. I just can't, shift it very fast or really anything other than drive it from point A to point B, and know when to push in the clutch pedal and when to release it. That's about my extent.
That's all you need.
Exactly. Yeah, they're fun. They are fun. I do like them, and there's a lot of control that you get with them, and it's cool that you still get a Cummins with a manual in it versus, it's really, GM doesn't do it and Ford doesn't do it.
That was what I looked for mine. I was actually searching for a truck for a year and a half or so before I finally found mine, because I wanted to get one with a stick.
The temptation's too much with a 48 RE to just say, well, I'm going to build it. And I'm going to throw some power at it. That's awesome. So the event's September 16th?
Yeah, it'll be, the test and tune is September 15th. The actual drag race is September 16th. We've got a event page made up for it, Family Ties Diesel Dysfunction. Got a discounted rate at a hotel that's maybe 10 minutes from the track, and it's less than a mile off the interstate.
Oh, cool. That'll make it easy to get there and go have some fun. And so people can go on Facebook and just type in the event name, and they can find like updates and times and all that stuff. Yeah,
it's all listed right there in the info bar on the event page.
Oh, cool. And I can't wait to see some pictures and videos, and I'm sure it'll be an awesome time. And it's kicking off right about when football season starting to get into swing. So it's like we transition from motorsports into football and all the other sports. But yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to. Wish I could make it out there. Like I said, I'll add that to to my tour schedule next year of awesome diesel events
That'd
I
be
want
great.
to see.
You get out this way, you're more than welcome. Come by, we'll sit out in the pool and have a beer.
There we go. I can't turn that down. I can do that. Do that pretty well. Living here at elevation, and then going anywhere lower than here, my beer consumption level rises dramatically, and which is bad and good.
Come on out. We might be able to locate you some NH bourbon too while you're here.
Jim Beam. I love Jim Beam. Oh, that's one of my favorite drinks. Always has been.
I would Jim Beam went in but about 3.5 miles from where I'm standing.
I've seen pictures. People, I actually think I saw it like they're diesel truck pictures, but guys and be driving through Kentucky or something, and they stop by and it's just a building with the Jim Beam. I think it has the logo on it, and that's part of my list of stuff I want to see.
Yeah, if you ever get out here this way, they run the bourbon trail. You go and take tours of multiple distilleries. That's a must if you come out this way.
I was out there a long time ago, like a really long time ago. I went to Bowling Green and Mammoth Caves, saw the Corvette Museum. Wasn't there very long though. I didn't actually get to see all the stuff I wanted to see, but yeah, I definitely want to go back. It's a beautiful state, really nice people, great food. But yeah, I'm gonna be on a little bourbon tour when I go out there.
Yeah, Bowling Green. I think there's some Bourbon Trail stuff in E-Town. I know there is in Bardstown. That'd be from Bowling Green about an hour and a half north, give or take. Not a bad trip at all.
Okay. I'm gonna add that down. Add that down to my trip, and yeah, I'll definitely let you know when I head out that way, and we can drink some beer and have some bourbon and watch some trucks race and everything. I definitely appreciate your time today and talking with us about trucks and bacon recipes and the event and how I can get inebriated when I go to Kentucky.
No doubt.
Awesome. Well, like I said, we appreciate your time, Jimmy. And yeah, I'll be keeping my eye out on the Facebook page, see some videos and everything, and I know it'll be an awesome time for everyone to go out there and see some cool stuff and have some family time in the motorsports world.
I appreciate you having me on.
Don't forget, diesel fans, head on over to Snyder Performance Engineering, spediesel.com. Check out their giveaway that they got going. You win some Adams polishes for free. The winner's going to be announced here pretty soon, so make sure you head on over there. And also, if you're looking for custom tuning for your Cummins Duramax Power Stroke, just call 888-556-0743. Tons of options for you, whether you just want a little bit more power, for towing, or you want 1,500 horsepower and everything in between. All right, guys. Till next time, keep the shiny side up.